6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister in separate telephonic conversations with Indonesian President and the Malaysian Premier has expressed deep concern over the escalating crisis in the Middle East. Shahbaz Sharif has directed Pakistani embassies in the Gulf countries to remain readily available at all times to assist the Pakistani citizens. In Iran, the martyrdom toll has surpassed 1,200 following the US-Israeli airstrikes. The finance minister says Pakistan's macroeconomic indicators are showing signs of stabilization and recovery. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, protest strike will be observed tomorrow against the Modi-Netanyahu nexus against the Muslims. Pakistan will take on Japan in the semi-final of the International Hockey Federation World Cup qualifiers in Egypt tomorrow. And now the news in detail. Pakistan and Indonesia have expressed deep concern over the escalating crisis in the Middle East. The concern was expressed during a telephonic conversation today between the Prime Minister Muhammad Shahbaz Sharif and the Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto. During the conversation, the Prime Minister strongly condemned Israel's attacks on Iran and the subsequent regrettable attacks on other brotherly Gulf countries. He informed the Indonesian president of Pakistan's diplomatic outreach efforts with all the Gulf countries in the aftermath of the crisis. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif also held telephonic conversation with his Malaysian counterpart Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim and expressed his serious concern over the ongoing escalation in the Middle East. Shahbaz Sharif stressed the need for upholding respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states as enshrined in the United Nations Charter and international law. He urged all the parties to exercise restraint, end hostilities and resolve the differences through diplomacy and dialogue. The two leaders agreed that restoration of peace and a swift return to normalcy is essential, but this can be achieved only through exercise of maximum restraint by all parties involved. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has directed that Pakistani embassies in the Gulf countries must remain readily available at all times to assist the Pakistani citizens. He was chairing a meeting in Islamabad today regarding the evacuation of Pakistanis from Iran and Pakistanis residing in the Gulf countries. He expressed gratitude to the brotherly country of Azerbaijan for its assistance in the evacuation of Pakistanis from Iran. The meeting was briefed on the current situation of the evacuation of Pakistanis from Iran. It was informed that Pakistanis are returning home safely from Iran and the Pakistani embassy in Azerbaijan remains fully active in this regard. The meeting was also informed about the steps being taken by Pakistani embassies to facilitate citizens living in the Gulf countries. The government has taken proactive measures to facilitate the evacuation of Pakistani nationals from Iran and support its citizens elsewhere in the region. In response to a media query, the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Tahir Andarabi, said the Crisis Management Unit is operating round the clock to monitor developments and extend necessary assistance to Pakistani nationals. Special facilitation desks have been established at the Pakistan's missions abroad to assist stranded Pakistani nationals with visa facilitation, logistics and travel arrangements. Missions have also launched dedicated applications, registration portals and helplines to enable timely outreach and assistance. The military strikes in the Middle East continue for the sixth day today, with attacks reported in Iran, raising the martyrdom toll in the country to 1,230. Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baqiyeh has accused the United States and Israel of intentionally hitting civilian areas during the war. Meanwhile, Iran's Revolutionary Guards Corps claimed to have inflicted significant damage on 20 American military targets in Kuwait, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates. On the other hand, the U.S. Senate has blocked a resolution to curb President Donald Trump's military campaign against Iran, voting 53 to 47 against the procedural motion. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. The National Assembly was informed today that 3 new submarine cables have been laid to enhance internet connectivity in the country. Responding to a question during question hour in the National Assembly this afternoon, the Minister for Information Technology and Telecommunications, Shahza Fatma Khwaja, said measures are being taken for the fiberization of mobile towers to enhance connectivity. The minister said 600 megahertz spectrum auction will be held on Tuesday and the process will be broadcast live to ensure transparency. She said this will double the internet speed in Pakistan. She expressed the confidence that 5G services will be available in 5 major cities by the end of this year. Shahza Fatma Khwaja said the government will take all possible cyber security measures. She said securing the country's digital boundaries is a matter of Pakistan's national security, and the government is committed to upgrading these measures. Answering another question, the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Tariq Fazal Chaudhry, said initiatives under the Special Investment Facilitation Centre have brought investment worth billions of dollars. The Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb says Pakistan's macroeconomic indicators are showing signs of stabilization and recovery. Talking to British High Commissioner Jane Marriott in Islamabad today, he said economic growth in the first quarter of the current financial year reached 3.7%, with improvements in large-scale manufacturing and resilience in the agriculture sector. He underscored that the government is now focused on transitioning from stabilization to sustainable and inclusive growth while addressing social challenges such as unemployment and poverty. The Pakistan Armed Forces continue effective and air operations against the Afghan Taliban and Fitna al-Khawarij under the Operation Ghazab lil-Haq. According to the security sources, the Pakistan Army, in its latest action, has destroyed the Afghan Taliban's Brigade Headquarters 205 Corps in Kandahar in a successful airstrike. The Pakistan Army also targeted Afghan Taliban's ammunition depots in this effective operation. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, curfew-like restrictions have entered the 4th consecutive day across the territory today to prevent protests that erupted after the martyrdom of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in an U.S.-Israel strike. According to Kashmir Media Service, heavy contingents of the Indian Army and Central Reserve Police Force personnel remain deployed across Srinagar, Baramulla, Bandipora, Budgam, Pulwama, and other districts. Major roads were barricaded with barbed wires, while armored vehicles patrol civilian areas. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, protest strike will be observed across the occupied territory tomorrow in solidarity with Iran and against the Modi-Netanyahu unholy nexus against the Muslims. The call for the strike has been given by the All Parties Hurriyat Conference. The APHC spokesman, Advocate Abdul Rashid Minhas, appealed to Kashmiris to participate in large numbers after Friday prayers to register opposition to the anti-Muslim policies of the Indian and Israeli governments. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference also condemned the ongoing restrictions in the occupied territory. And now cricket. In the ICC T20 World Cup, the second semi-final between India and England will be played in Mumbai today. The match will start at 6:30 in the evening. Hockey. The semi-finals of the International Hockey Federation World Cup qualifiers will be played in Egypt tomorrow. The first semi-final will be played between England and Malaysia at 3:45 in the afternoon, while in the second semi-final Pakistan will face Japan. The match will start at 6 in the evening. And finally, the weather report. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while cold and partly cloudy weather in hilly areas during the next 12 hours. However, light rain, thunderstorm with light snow over high mountains may occur at isolated places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan. The temperatures are likely to remain above normal in the plain areas. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.